All right, we're in section 4.8 where we're going to form congruence with transformations. Uh, by definition, a transformation is an operation that moves or changes a geometric figure in some way to produce a new figure. This new figure is called an image. There are three types of transformations. We're going to take a look at each one of them in this video. The first one is a translation. Again, a translation is moves every point of a figure same direction, same distance in the same direction. Reflection is a line in which creates a mirrored image of the original image, and rotation is turning a figure on a fixed point. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is translation. So I have examples A, B, and C, and those examples are written what is called translation notation, where you're going to be given a value of x and y, and then the arrow is where the x value is going to be moved, and then the y value is going to be moved. So if we look at the first example in example A, it says that it's going to be x comma y, where x plus 3 and y minus 2. So basically what it is, I have a triangle as my original figure, and I want to move that in example A in positions 3 to the right because x deals with horizontal change, and I'm going to move y down 2 units because we're dealing with vertical change. So for the first one, for example A, I'm going to move the vertices 3 units to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go down 2 units, so 1, 2. So then I plot the point. So that's actually my new location of that vertex. Same thing goes here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Put it down here, and then finally 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And so I can then use a straight edge, which I'm just going to go freehand here. And again, I didn't change um, the size of my image, I just changed the position of it. So if I'm going to look at example B says x minus 4 and y plus 2, which means is I'm going to move my vertexes 4 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 2, 1, 2. So I plot the point. And then I'm going to go 4 units to the left here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then finally 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2. And again, I didn't change the size of my object, I just made a new image. And that was example B. Finally, I got example C, where example C says I'm going to move it 6 units to the right and 3 units up. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. So it's right here. And I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3 here, and then finally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And again, just like the other two examples, I didn't change the size of my new figure, I just changed the positioning. The next thing we're going to talk about is reflection. All right, and now in this example, they want us to reflect on the x-axis. And then we're going to draw the other side of the figure. So the x-axis is, in this case, is the horizontal line in this graph, and we're going to be asked to reflect over the x-axis in order to solve the problem. So I've been given some figures on the graph, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to plot the points on where each line segment intersects. So this first example where I'm making little dots is the locations of where the line segments intersect, where their endpoints would be. These two here, I got 0, 0. This one here is what, negative 4, 0. The one above that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have it at negative 3, 6, Over here I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 5 comma 9 over here. And then this one here is 2 comma 3. Okay, so when we look at these points here, now when I reflect them on the x-axis, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to give the opposite value of my y value. So negative 4 comma 0 and 0 comma 0 actually stay the same, but this negative 3 comma 6, I'm actually going to plot it at negative 3 comma negative 6. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. I plot the point there. I got 5 comma 9, which means it's 5 comma negative 9. I have 2 comma, it'll be negative 3. And what I'm going to do now is make a line, use a straight edge, and then I connect the dots. So I go here, I got here, and then here, and then finally complete it. So I'll do a little better job with this one right here with connecting dots, and here you go. So it kind of gives it that wing image. Going to the second one, here are the points that I'm going to try to identify the coordinates of. This one over here is negative 7 comma 0. This one over here is negative 1 comma 2. Over here is 1 comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's 6. Here it's going to be 8 comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here is 8 comma 0. Alright, same thing applies. I'm going to plot the points, but I'm going to give the opposite value of my y coordinates. So I go over here. This is actually negative 1 comma negative 2. This is 1 comma negative 6. 6. And I got what? 8 comma negative 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the other two are going to be on the x-axis, so it wouldn't change anyway. So I go over here, and I'm going to create a line. So I go over here. Line will be created from here to here. And so this is where you got to be really careful when you are creating your image to make sure that it appears to be a mirrored image of the one that was given to us. Okay. Over here, I got points to plot here, 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 and here. So plotting these points, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's negative 5 comma 0. That makes this one 5 comma 0. Over here, this is going to be negative 8 comma 4. This one here is positive 8 comma 4. This one here is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So this is 4 comma 3. Here is 0 comma 8. And finally, this one here is negative 4 comma 3. Now again, plotting the points on the x-axis, I change the positioning of my y coordinates because they're going to be the opposite value. So I go over here, this is going to be negative 8 comma negative 4. So that gets plotted there. Negative 4 comma negative 3 is next. Here, this will be 0 comma negative 8. This will be 4 comma negative 3. So it'll be right there. And then finally, I got 8 comma negative 4. So I can plot my points. I plotted my points. Now I connect my dots. So I go here, 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 and then finally here. So it kind of gives it that star look. Finally, I got this figure here. My intersecting points or my endpoints will be here, here, and here. This one's going to be negative 4 comma 0. This one's going to be 2 comma negative 7. Here it's going to be 2 comma negative 3. And then finally this one here is going to be 8 comma 0. So just two values get changed here because the other ones are on the x-axis. So this one's going to be 2 comma positive 3 and 2 comma positive 7. So again, make a straight edge, and then we connect the dots. So we go over here, here, and then finally here. Now, if you were to say, if they give you an example, they wanted you to rotate it on the x, or on the y-axis, I'm sorry, we would then be switching the x coordinates. Would be giving the opposite value to find that mirrored image. Finally, we're going to talk about rotation. It says rotation, you are given a line or a figure. The direction can be rotated clockwise or counterclockwise of the degree each example gives. So the first one here, it says I got a line and I'm going to move it or rotate it 60 degrees clockwise. Now remember, if you're looking at a clock moves from left to right, so that means I'm going to be looking at it in this position here. So what we're going to do first is, well, first I'm going to erase this, but the first thing I want to do is I'm going to make a line at our fixed point. So our fixed point in this case is going to be 0, 0. So I'm going to make a little red line and I'm going to have it extend, and it's going to hover over the line in question. So I'm going to be rotating that line. So what I want to do now is I'm going to take my protractor and I want to position it in a way so it's touching the red line, and I'm also moving it counterclockwise, and it's telling me it's 60 degrees. So what I'm going to do is 60 degrees is right there. So I'm going to strike a mark, and now I am going to move my protractor away, and I'm going to create a line, make it a red line again, and it's at that fixed point, and 60 degrees was right there. Okay, so from here to here is 60 degrees, okay? Finally, for this one, I'm going to take my protractor. So I'm going to put it on the fixed point here and move it over here. But actually what I'm going to do first is I'm going to delete this line here. So now I get the figure. Put it in position. Put it so it's fairly close to the endpoint. And I think that's going to be pretty good. And then I strike a mark here. So now where that intersects, that is where the endpoint's going to be located for my new line. So go over here, reposition myself, and then I go to the next endpoint, which is over here. Move it into place, make my compass line, strike my mark, and here we go. So now I have my two intersecting points. So then I just go over here, make a black line connected from here to here. And then I'm just deleting these strike mark points, and that is the same line. Didn't change the length or anything. I just changed the position of our object through rotation. Finally, if we have in this example here, I'll bring my compass and protractor with me, I have a figure that I want to rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. So counterclockwise, all we're going to do now is we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to make the fixed point still get 0, 0, but I'm going to make a extending line to all of the endpoints. So this endpoint strikes the whole line, and then I got an endpoint right here, which I'll extend, and then finally there's a third one which is going to extend to this point. So I'm going to have to make 3 passes in order to find my new rotated figure. So I go over here, line it up at the fixed point, and I'm going to rotate it so it's hitting that line. I see 90 degrees is right there. I make a mark, which is right there. I'm going to position it again right there, make another mark, which will be right there, and then finally I'm going to make the third mark, and then the 90 degrees will be right there. So then I'm going to now make 3 new lines. Get my protractor out of the way, and so I'll make 3 new lines here, here, and here. So these ones are all done. I can erase these lines. And now I take my compass, I'm going to change the color. So going over here, putting it back on the fixed point, I go over and you're going to have to remember the endpoints that you worked with. So then this one here goes to that point over there, and moving it down to this endpoint. So now the two, well, I guess I didn't make the mark yet. Here we go. So now these two intersecting points now will give me the, I want it to be in a black color. So this here is my new position for that piece. So I can delete that, and I can even delete this. Oops. So that's my first piece there. So now what I can do is rotate my compass here, and then I strike a mark right there, and I can then make my new line at the intersection of that red and blue area. So I can then delete that. So now I got one more mark to fulfill. So I'm going to move this over here, get it so it's positioned correctly, and then I'll strike the mark right there, and finally finish up by connecting it there, and then finally connecting it over here, and then erasing all of your construction marks. And again, I didn't change the size of my figure, I just repositioned it through rotation. And that is being able to use congruency with transformation. Hope this helps. Until next time.